it's so much more than just getting a diploma and doing something with it. I can say it really changed my life. My name is Rediate Afework. I am now the founder and CEO of a natural hair care line, thanks to you guys, called Curl Love, which is based in the capital city of Ethiopia, in Addis Ababa. How I came about you guys, I literally like Google is everything. But it was really profound the moment in which I found you guys, because I am a single mom. I have 2 children. And at the time, I had just left my corporate job to have my second child. I knew that I did not want to continue within the corporate world. I knew that I wanted to have my own business. I just didn't really know where my heart was pulling me. And what I noticed postpartum was that, my hair for a second time had just completely got damaged. And I just wanted to recover it instead of having to, deal with a big chop and things like that. And being in Addis, there wasn't really that space for natural hair care products that were consistently available, that weren't imported, that was meant for my hair. I was extremely frustrated. And I thought about it and I was just like, I can't be the only one. Wouldn't it be wonderful to create something, not just for me and my family, but that could actually contribute to women's wellness here, which is really self-care is wellness for me. And so I researched, and because I am from London and I had done most of my other studies there, I was just like, okay, I want it to be home-based. I want it to be something that's authentic and certified and real, not something that I couldn't carry with me, like a real school. You guys were one of the first few names that came up. And as I looked through your programs, I was just like, I think I might really like this. And, having a newborn in the house, I really think that this is something that I could do at my own pace. And then I started the program and it went beautifully. Like I really, really enjoyed it. In the beginning, of course, it was like, yes, there's the potential for this to be my business. It could be because I had lost so much of my confidence having to just become a single mom after that. I didn't have a clear vision. I just thought, okay, let me make this little thing work. It'll be nice if this was like this, and if I put these values on it and this much of my heart in it. And it was very much almost like when you're in the kitchen and you're making a dish and you're just kind of like, let me just see what happens. I started out the brand with just one product. It was a hair mask. And then when I was just like, okay, let me give it to a few people. And then a few people tried it. They're like, this is great. And then, I kind of just slapped a sticker on it and was just kind of like, okay, let's see what the market says. And they fell in love with it. And I was overwhelmed by the response because I wasn't expecting anything, let alone that much love and appreciation. And even like, thank you for bringing us this because we've been so frustrated, which was very much gratifying. And since then, I've been able to introduce a couple of more products. I plan on having to introduce a few more. And it's kind of become this kind of household name and within the natural hair care business here in Addis, which is like mind-blowing. Her name is Curl Love. I like to refer to her as a she because I'm a mother of boys. So it's kind of like my one and only daughter. And very much in that parenting way of like, I hope she grows. And, I've given her to the world now. Like I said, I did start with a hair mask. I can actually show you it if you like. This is what she looks like now. Very, very simple. But I try to be also have like very responsible packaging. So this is actually an upcycled jar. I work with a female led company that actually does this. So it was also nice to collaborate with other businesses and especially women in business. And so I'm able to offer things like, if you return the jar, you only pay a refill price. We get to recycle and reuse and not have to use like so much plastic. So there is a little bit of a packaging problem in this country in terms of good cosmetic packaging. So this made her unique in that she's the only one that's using something like this right now. And since then, I've introduced a leave-in conditioner and a scalp oil. The leave-in conditioner is an absolute win. Like, I could not believe it. I feel like a student still of the industry. So for me, I've never really imagined myself leading a brand. I've always been the researcher, the developer, the product, someone in the background. I like making things. So having to translate that to something to put on the market and then seeing a response like this, I can't say how overwhelming it is. The demographic is like from 18, I would say, all the way up to 35, but 18 to 25 is really the type of messaging that we have. So very like young, natural hair in all its forms, the afros, braids, dreads, and all of the things that are healthy for our hair. I would say it's, first of all, just the excitement of being able to make something new and authentic that actually has real results, not just something that you're kind of making up in your kitchen. Because here we have a lot of Ayurvedic and traditional treatments that we like to use for our hair. We literally use, butter to put in the hair to condition it, avocado. And so we have that kind of spirit behind it, but having to bring in knowledge of like, this works, this doesn't, this is what this does, and this is not effective in this way. How do we compile these things to make something that can really work? I love that creativity and that moment of, it could be this and it could do this. And if we added this ingredient, it could also do this. So just purely the excitement of creating, I think it helped me tap into my inner artist, not just my inner scientist. It's two things, not just the practical part. At the very beginning, just understanding the biology of hair and how it's different for everyone, and how like Afro hair is different. And because of that, it has different needs. It gave me so much peace, and it gave me so many answers as to why we need what we need, and why that works. Because honestly, there's so much negativity that goes along with Afro hair as well, in terms of like, okay, it's difficult to manage, it requires a lot of work, or it has to be presented in a certain way. And I feel like that's kind of like hair trauma. It kind of helped me understand how we are different and how we can celebrate these things about ourselves and how we can really rise to the occasion, It's not what it is, it's how you treat it. And this is a lifelong relationship. So definitely having to learn about the science behind it and have that input made so much of a difference for me in terms of my mindset. And then the practical part, where I actually got to, see this theory in practice and really kind of work with those ingredients and see how, if you look back to this, to the science and the reading, it's so simple and it's so effective, and I didn't struggle at all through my practical. So I really enjoyed that part. It's just like it became real in those moments. And so I was able to make my first product really from those first moments of practice. And having the videos was so helpful. The dialogue that I've tried to bring in with the brand as well. Because I said to myself, I need to instill my values. And what do I value? What's important to me? And what message do I want to send? And it is very much about embracing yourself as a part of your well-being, as a part of your wellness, your mental health, your emotional health. Because, obviously, the more you love on yourself, then the more you flourish. And if you have products to support that journey, that's even better. Even in the messaging of the brand, that's what we try and say. We're just honest beauty. We're just out here to support your hair love journey. When we talk about the natural movement within the African community, it's always kind of stereotyped, like, okay, does that mean I can't press my hair or chemically treat my hair or dye my hair? And I'm always like, your hair is for you to have fun with, for you to express yourself with. When you back that up with good product that's healthy for you, then you can do that without having to fear losing your hair or losing any part of yourself. If anything, just use it as a foundation in which you can fly. And I've embodied that. In terms of having to use like conscious packaging, I feel like it came naturally as a part of that whole dialogue. We're here to support. We're here to be involved. We're here to learn with you. Those things mean that we get to, work with other entrepreneurs who are starting out, other entrepreneurs out there who have such good intention for what this market could be, whether it be producing good packaging. I also get to collaborate with some amazing companies that work with deaf women. And it's so beautiful how something as simple as hair can connect so many different communities. Absolutely. I think any woman who's come out of that sort of situation, any person who's come out of that sort of situation will question everything about themselves. The timing was so beautiful in the sense that I was never really a person who was not confident, especially within my work, my job. I was always been outspoken. I like communicating with people. I'm friendly. I was consumed by my fear. When I started to do this, it reminded me who I was, who I am, and that I still have so much love to give. And, that I still have so much service, so much energy still. It sounds so simple to be doing a course and then maybe formulating things. But in those small ways in which I was creating, I got the chance to recreate myself, kind of Rediate 2.0. And that was awesome. Initially, my target market were women like me, women who have had or do have access to imported products, who understand what they get from it, who maybe have a little bit of knowledge about the natural hair care and skincare community and what that means, but maybe not have consistent access, or maybe have not been able to really pursue it in that way. It started that way initially. Like I said, I got an overwhelming response to the point where I was literally like, okay, there needs to be some more people in the natural hair care industry here. The community was just like, oh my God, I'm not just relieved, please, I really want you to make more stuff. What drives me to continue pressing on and creating more products is really the connections I form with these women who are not just clients or customers now. I make it a point to go to pop-ups and to be there just to discuss hair and to discuss, what's good, what's not, what I would recommend, even if that meant not using one of my products, because obviously I don't have everything for everyone. Just connecting with women in that way and hearing their relief or even hearing their frustration and being able to empathize with that. Hair care seems so small, but it's such a big service for all these women who don't have time to care for their hair, who want like a solution, who are frustrated with what's out there, who are struggling from real things, scalp problems, alopecia, and having to have that connection. I cannot get enough. My first aim is to at least have a complete product line. I don't have like a shampoo and conditioner at the moment, and so I do regular polls on Instagram. So I'm an Instagram and social media based business. So I do polls, and the overwhelming response has been like, please, now shampoo and conditioner, so we have a one-stop shop where we can get everything. So it would be first to complete the product line. Outside of that, I'm definitely interested in having to go to international markets, or at least within the African continent. I've definitely been contacted from Ethiopian diaspora who are like, okay, when are you shipping this over here? Because we want something that's homemade. So I hope to expand in those markets. I've been offered positions where I can formulate for other companies as well, which I really love, because as I was saying, I might not have the capacity to scale up to a factory level and supply for everyone. But there's so much space within this market. There's so much demand. For me, it's seeing those women get something that's accessible, healthy, and being able to have that life. I cannot do this alone. So having these opportunities to collaborate are amazing. Honestly, I'm not sure if I'm in any sort of position to give advice because I'm still going through my journey. But I would say, since as a person who started small and kind of grew to this point, don't be scared to just try. The worst that could happen is it might not work out that way, but it will work out a different way. And believe in yourself enough to just try, and amazing things could happen. I would say a complete metamorphosis. This journey has been everything to me. It's not just about learning a new skill and having to have the freedom of creating my own company and brand. I've been able to be more of a present mom and be there in my personal life. I've been able to bring an energetic and excited person home. I've been able to teach my sons how to formulate with me. It's so much more than just getting a diploma and doing something with it. I can say it really changed my life, and it changed everything about how I feel about myself. You cannot put a price on that. And I wouldn't change it for the world.